Hey guys, are you like me and on a budget, don't want to spend a lot of money or learn the software to create a calendar? Well, let's do one together. I can walk you through this. If you want to learn how to do something like this, pay attention to this video. And it's a great tool and will work on your tasks as well. To show you what it looks like, we'll pick up each task, say 19th, 20, and 20. And we'll show it for you when everything is done. And this is how we do it. So we want to create this model, and the first thing you want to do is make sure you open up your spreadsheet, and you're going to have a tab that does your summary and changes your dates that these codes are going to reference. So the way to start with that is you start with just in cell 1A, enter in your year. And then after that, a 1, and add that by 1. And then go all the way to 12, which is here, I believe. There we go. So each of these symbolizes the day of the month. So obviously January, February, and so on. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to then choose a simple function to calculate the day. So it's a date function. This function is used to give you a date of the year by certain parameters. Now we have the year, we have the month, and we're going to say first date. Gives us January 1st, 2024. Now we're going to move this function over, but we want to make the A1 stationary. And so we have the first day of each month all the way until 12. So as we talked about many times on these videos, keyboard shortcuts are your friends in Excel. So as always, to copy formula, Control-C, and to highlight a whole row, Shift and the arrow key of the direction, and then to copy that formula over, Control-V. Now what you have are the first days of each month. Now we're going to use a different formula. These formulas are going to be listed, so you don't need to memorize them, but they're very easy anyways. So the next formula we're going to work on is we're going to do a combination of an if with a month function. So we're going to do an if error. This function is useful for if you have any errors that might appear, you can create in a way that it will not show. It will show in a way that you feel comfortable with. In this example, we're going to give it a blank so it looks more presentable. So we're going to do if error, then we're going to open up an if function, and we're going to ask the if function to look at a month, and we're going to go to top one, add that plus 1, close parents. I'm going to say if it equals B1, oh, sorry, equals B1, right? Because we want it to equal the month. Value if true, we're going to say A3 plus 1. Value if false, leave blank, close parents. And then now you're back into the if error. And then you do a quote, a comma to go into your next function. You're going to do quotes to leave it blank. Now this is going to come back in a format that's going to give you a serial number. And we just simply copy the format from there, and then I'll give you 2. Now, to summarize, the top line, we want the first day of the month, and then that recognizes the year, month, and the date. And then your second, you're gonna have net function. Basically, all it's asking for is look at the month. If it's accurate and it's equal to B1, then simply take the top one, add a +1. And then always in any function, if you have quotes, that means blank. So now what should happen is you should be able to copy this formula down. And it should give you each month of the year. Now, the reason why we put an if error is because there's going to be certain times of the year, especially in 2024, that we had a leap year in February. So it might come up as an error and it might get the VBA code to read incorrectly. So once that is entered, then move on to your next line and copy this formula over. It's going to come out as blank because we didn't make things stationary. So all we got to do is just fix the formula. That moves to 2 and copy that down. As you can see, 2029. Repeat the same thing. What I'm gonna do is have it go over by 1. Copy this. Okay, so I sped it up a little bit. This is what it looks like when it's completed. All these will have codes. And the beauty of this is, as we do every time in Excel, is we try to make it more smarter, not harder. So we make sure to have access to every formula so that's adjustable. Anytime you create a model, make it adjustable or toggleable throughout your model and make sure that checks. So if we wanted to adjust this and say we wanted to bring it to 2025, it works on the whole formula and it gives you the correct dates. And 2026, however many years, 3020, 32, we'll give you that as well. So now you have your data accurate. Now, one thing that I stress out also is that you want to make this presentable, and you can do this by 2 means. One, you can take out the bar, these guide bars. These are very good to do when you're presenting to someone because this creates confusion. And the way to do that is to go to your grid lines, take those out, now you're presentable. I would also group them. This is something that's very useful. That's in your data tab on your ribbon bar, and group. This will allow you to present this in a way that's closed up and can be adjusted by just simply opening this up. So this ends the first step. I'm going to create another video on how to set up the next one. It's a convoluted process. Once I explain it, it's easier, but it just takes a little bit more time. So I don't want to bore you with one big video. So check out the link in the description that has access to you to get the code. It's on Etsy. It's $7 to purchase. And I will walk you through how to set this up. Something like this can easily cost you a couple $100, but with us, we'll work through it together and make it presentable. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.